Welcome back to the Tecmo 101 channel. Mort here, getting ready for the Tecmo Players Championship that is coming up this April the 18th in Chicago at Demon Tap. Right now, I'm going over the matchups for every team because, as I've gone over earlier, there is a restriction on the number of matchups you can use in the Players Championship. So let's go over some good matchups for the New Orleans Saints. Right now, I'm going to kick it off because I'm going to get the ball to Craig Hayward, and we are going to demonstrate the best weapon on the New Orleans Saints, and that is the kick return game of Craig Hayward. Tons of speed, and if they somehow catch me, they might be popcorn. Let's see if I can take it all the way to pay dirt. We usually get a little tricky down at the end, but I got the touchdown, baby. Craig Hayward, best weapon on the New Orleans Saints. All right, let's go a little in depth on to why the Saints, Craig Hayward, is their best weapon. First of all, he's only 25 MS, but he sure didn't seem slow. That 94 hitting power is part of it. If they had managed to catch me, a lot of people would have been popcorn. The real secret to his success is Stan Brock's 44 maximum speed. The right tackle is the speed of your kick returner. So that meant he was a 44 MS running back for that play, and that's why he moved so fast with the 44 running speed. He was able to turn and change, and if they caught me, they would have been popcorn. He's the best weapon, and that means the three matchups I want to go over for you with the Saints, two of them take a big advantage of this. Going up against the Jets, who I have mentioned, going up against the Packers, and also a surprise matchup I've been seeing a lot and that I like, going up against the Dallas Cowboys. All right, let's start off with the Saints versus the Jets. Jets' best thing going for them is Eric McMillan, their safety, who has 63 interceptions. 44 pass control John Fourcade means that he won't JJINT you unless there's a condition change. That's a nice thing to know about it. At the same time, there's a weakness at both outside linebackers, and the DL isn't that strong. That's going to set up the best weapon you have on the Saints, which is your 50 MS running back, Dalton Hilliard. He's also going to be helped that most of the secondary is slow on this team. If you like to use this playbook, which I don't normally use, but this is very effective against the Jets because the best way to stop these two plays on the end is with outside linebackers. Those outside linebackers on the Jets suck, and they get taken advantage of pretty easily. Now, the Jets have a great quarterback, but they have slow receivers and only a 44 MS running back. They have a pair of those, 44 MS receiver. Their offensive line, as you can see, is not the greatest. Great kicker, though. Both teams have a pretty good kicker. They're pretty much even in that. But the advantage for the Saints is, if you can get him in coverage, you have a 56 interceptions guy. You got a couple, and then you got 344 guys. So you can have some pretty good success. And then you got this great front seven, especially these three linebackers. And then there's also a great defensive lineman as well. That's going to be a problem for them. They have a great offensive line for this level of the game. Very good offensive line. They can run block besides the kick returner. Then again, 50 MS running back, 44 pass control quarterback, and a receiver, 38 MS, but he can catch the ball. So you have just enough tools to get the job done with the Saints versus the Jets. You go up against the Packers. Now, they got a great offense. They got Michalski. They got Woodside at 44 MS, and they got Sterling Sharp. Like a lot of teams in this area, they have a bad offensive line. You can take advantage of that with the Saints. At the same time, they don't have a lot of depth. If you could get that good defensive back on Sharp, you can slow that down. On defense, they've got Bob Nelson, and they've also got Tim Harris. What they're lacking is fast defensive backs and a lot of interception ability. So you could take advantage of this team in the passing game because these guys are slow and they don't have a lot of interceptions. So that's a matchup you could take advantage of as well. Finally, against the Cowboys' best weapon is Emmitt Smith, but their offensive line, again, is not too good. So once again, you can take advantage of that Saints front seven, slow them down, and then Troy Aikman is just a 44 pass control quarterback. He has 244 MS receiving options. There's more things you could take advantage of. If you could get your 56 INT guy in coverage, you could shut down the passing game, and then it's a battle to see who can run the ball more. Meanwhile, on the Cowboys defense, the highest interception is they got two guys at 50. These guys are faster than the Jets and Green Bay guys, but there's still opportunity because they don't have a lot of interceptions. So those are my top three matchups for the Saints: against Dallas, against Green Bay, against Jets. You might also at the same time still want to consider doing Saints versus Cleveland. I didn't mention Cleveland because their quarterback has more pass control and that their defense has more hitting power. You also might want to consider them against Atlanta, but Bad Moon Rising and Sean Collins, there's a lot to contain for the Saints. There's Phoenix as well, but the Phoenix secondary with a strong LB1 sometimes isn't the greatest matchup. And I didn't mention Pittsburgh because Pittsburgh has a lights-out defense that might shut down both running game and passing game. But still, each one of those matchups is possible as well for the Saints. Even stuff, as I mentioned earlier, versus New England versus Seattle. Maybe even as far up as Tampa Bay, but that's when you're starting to get to the limits of what you can do with the Saints. Anyways, to get you better prepared for the tecmo Players Championship, you might want to be familiar with Saints Jets, Saints Packers, and also Saints Cowboys. I'd like to thank you guys all for watching my videos on the Tecmo 101 channel. I'm going to have a lot more videos just like this one so we can go over all the matchups for all the teams that are remaining. Thank you and have a good day.